Hey, welcome back to another impromptu episode of Unleashed Alchemy. Tamara Temu here, your fellow alchemist, your fellow magician, bringing you channeled spiritual wisdom so that you can live a soul fulfilled life. So let's talk about something for a second. If you have been on this channel for some time now, particularly during the last few months, I have been guided to really focus content on religious programming and why it is important to understand that it is not enough to just physically disassociate from your church and religious programming, okay? Or from the religion, excuse me. The reason why is because the programming that takes place when you are involved in a religion is so embedded, it gets embedded into your identity, and you will live your life making decisions based on that limited programmed identity. So when you leave, when you start to notice, when you start to feel your soul calling you to elevate, calling you for more, it is important to pull that thread on the programming that you have experienced, that your body has experienced, that your nervous system has gone through, all of that time that you gave your energy away to a religious vampiric system. Okay? You can, so life after religious programming, yes, you can live, you can feel free, you can be at peace, which all are beautiful things. But now there is another level for you. There is another level of inner transformation, which will be manifested in your external world. And part of this transformation is you stepping into your spiritual gifts. Why am I talking about spiritual gifts? Because it is important to walk in them. This is your spiritual gifts. Understanding your spiritual gifts is a part of integrating your spirituality into your everyday life. It's all a part of it. There's no such thing as your life and then there's your spirituality. It all goes together. Okay? This is about integration, which again, religious programming does not teach you integration, but your spirituality does. So what you have to understand is those spiritual gifts that you carry, the spiritual gifts that are encoded in your DNA, the spiritual gifts that you have turned the switch on because you have raised your hand and said, no more of this programming. I am following my soul. I am following my spirit to step into the identity of me that is cosmic, that transcends time and space, where there is no box, where there is no limitation, where the love that I exude transcends any type of statistic, any type of geographic border. It goes on to infinity. For you to be able to step into that, to own that identity, you have to know what your spiritual gifts are. We all come here with spiritual gifts. It's important to understand also that oftentimes your spiritual gifts are going to be the very thing that your religion told you was evil. Your spiritual gifts are going to look like the very thing that your religion told you to stay away from. Okay? So you have to, and I keep saying understand, I need to be saying overstand. You have to, and when I say understand, first of all, this is not about your logic, it making sense. This is about you just simply saying, I'm following my soul. This feels right. No, my logic, the ego does not fully understand, but my soul does. You may not know what the next step is. So let me give you an example. Let me take one of so the character Jesus in the Bible, the real name is Yeshua, which is another topic for another video. According to that Bible, that individual was murdered because he was considered, the work that he was doing, the alchemy that he was expressing and surrendering to and allowing his body to be a channel for, the religious people, the church people, considered that to be witchcraft, considered it to be demonic, considered it to be evil. He engaged in necromancy, mediumship, again, magic. There's astrology. I mean, and I'm using Yeshua as in this example, but we can see mediumship, ancestral veneration. We can see astrology. We can see people going to seek out the wisdom from a seer, a person who would be known as a prophet, women that they considered to be, that they called a witch, but not witch as we know it as spiritualists, but the definition of witch that was used to demonize those particular gifts and that particular knowing. Gnosticism was considered to be witchcraft. Okay, so anything outside of a religion, okay, we know they consider to be evil. All right, so I'm saying that to say this is that do not let it shock you. If this is you, if you are, you're experiencing your life after religious programming, and you may be saying, okay, well, what is next? What is next for me? I know that there is more. And part of that more is you tapping into your spiritual gifts. Don't be alarmed when those spiritual gifts that are coming up, and let them come up. This is for someone, because I didn't plan this video, but this is for somebody. Let those gifts come up. Do not allow fear to turn you away from your gift. If it is mediumship, if one of your gifts is to be a seer, is to be an oracle, is to be an intuitive healer. Oh, and that's another thing. Why? That's another example of why Yeshua was murdered, because he was healing people, okay, with his life force energy in his voice. Okay, what did he tell? I don't know where the scripture is. And I'm using the Bible because religious people, you guys understand this if you happen to be in your religion and you're watching this for whatever reason. Okay. There is a scripture, there's parts in the Bible where people would come to Yeshua sick, and he would say, take up your bed and walk. He was healing people with his voice. He was reminding people of their internal power to heal themselves. Okay. Maybe part of one of your spiritual gifts is to, of course, we can all heal ourselves. We all have that power and capability, but maybe your spiritual gifts is part of your spiritual gift is to heal other people through your life force energy coming out of your hands. Maybe that is one of your gifts. So the reason, if you don't take anything else away from this video, is to understand and not to shy away from the fact that your gifts are going to look like the very thing that is called evil. It's going to, I just don't want it to be a shock to you. Okay? I don't want it to be a shock to you. I don't want you to allow your fear to be bigger than your magic. Don't allow your fear to be bigger than your alchemy. Don't allow your fear to be bigger than your gifts that you came here to express. That is the message. All right. So, if you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments. Also, I want to tell you that I will be going live again. I don't have a date or time, but if you have a question about anything that we talked about in this video, if you have a question about intuition, if you have a question about how to integrate your spirituality into your everyday life, if you have any challenges that you feel that you are facing in your life after religion, after religious programming, any of those questions that fall underneath those categories, put them in the comments. Let me know, because I'm going to take the next live and I'm going to dedicate it to 3 questions and spend time answering 3 of your questions. Okay. And so if this turns out to be supportive and helpful to you all, I will continue to do that. Also, if you'd like to ask me the question more privately, you can send me an email. All right. My email, I put it in the community section, but my email is unleashedalchemy@gmail.com. Whenever your question is chosen to be answered on a live, I will not say your name. Okay. So I wanted to note that, to give you that information. Also, if you are wanting more one-on-one support in your transformation throughout your life, okay, for your life, book a call with me. All right, so we can talk. It's a complimentary call. Book a call so that we can talk about how I can support you on your spiritual odyssey. Listen, spirituality is about transformation. It is not for your entertainment. It is for your transformation. Inner transformation first, and then you'll see it in the external. All right. And it's also about you being sovereign and you stepping into your power. I don't care what's going on the outside of you. I don't care how people are talking. This is about you and what you know intuitively, what you came here to do, who you came here to be. All right. So that is it for today's episode. And until next time, cheers.